We mapped the cosmic Cold War where the Jedi met the Syndicate and analyzed the master plan, the motive, and the wicked grit. From Gotham's gritty alleys to the throne room on Apocalypse, unleashing lore, heavy knowledge from the serpent's verbal exodus. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast. Welcome to the Villainz Lair podcast.
And welcome everybody into the Villainz Lair on this magic Monday morning. So much from over this weekend, this past weekend, this Mother's Day weekend to talk about. And there's going to be a ton of DC news here coming up. But first, Alvin, how are you, brother?
Good, man. Good, man. What's up, my G? Happy Monday, bro. Third week of the show.
I know.
Can't wait to talk about some geek news, brother.
Today, despite all this DC news, we need a daily dose of Doomsday. So let's check in on the Avengers Doomsday clock as we are 7 months and 6 days away. I mean, by the time you're watching this, as of recording, this is what it's at. But, we are getting closer and closer and still no official trailer yet.
Not yet. But there's so many things I'm prepping in my life before this Doomsday clock come to fruition. It's dangerous times, my friend.
Yeah, I think we are just like a little bit less than 2 weeks away from the release of The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters, and I can't imagine we don't see something before that movie. And I think we probably get something that sneaks out online before.
Or it just comes out on the premiere of Mandalorian and Grogu. That seems to be the consensus going around right now within the geek universe. So.
Well, let's talk about some Avengers Doomsday news we got over the weekend. Deadline interviewed Nightcrawler actor Alan Cummings. And as Alan Cummings tends to do in these interviews, he released a nugget that maybe wasn't supposed to. Maybe the Kevin Feige Marvel Sniper team it has their sights set on him right now. He says that there are secret unannounced Avengers characters coming up in Doomsday. Characters that in the script were given different names so that they didn't know exactly who they were referring to, but characters that are unannounced that we don't know about. Now, the question is, and you tell me what you think, are these characters that we're familiar with, that we've already, seen in movies like the Hulks and Captain Marvels of the world? Or are these actual secret characters that we haven't even met yet?
I think that they are being very, very, very sneaky here.
I think so too.
And they're just giving us hints and glimpses of obviously they sign NDAs and stuff like that.
Sure.
And there's no way that he can come out with all these news without even having the okay from the studios. Otherwise he would probably get fined, right? So I think
for sure.
Yeah, so I think they were just telling him to put some hints in or just a little tease. So we as geek fans, comic book fans, get really excited about the movie and just put in news and speculations all over the media. Conspiracy theories at its finest.
Yeah, so for us to theorize and speculate on what he's saying, what it could be. Now, this was like an image that was done for a Marvel presentation. I believe that was done in Brazil and was put together by not Marvel Studios officially, but a team out in Brazil. And there's still this image still cracks me up. That photo in the center of Anthony Mackie with the craziest cheekbones you've ever seen. He almost looks like a character from Star Wars with the guy that's flying with Lando in I think it was Return of the Jedi. But and then the picture of Catherine Newton is definitely not Catherine Newton. I don't even think it's the ghost actress, but maybe it's her as well. But we look at this, we get to see some of these faces, some of these people that were in the chair announcement. God, can you imagine being around doing a live stream for that chair announcement for 7 hours, just every 15 minutes, getting a new name? I wish they could have done so much more with that, but still effective and was able to keep them in the conversation all day.
Yes, I have imagined it, and I have imagined it with a crowd like an NFL draft.
Yeah, it would have been awesome if they would have done that. And then they could have done like a highlight package of that character's best moments,
Yeah, exactly.
But just to stare at the back of that chair for 15 minutes is wild.
Well, I think we should propose that to Marvel, actually. We
Yeah,
come
I
out
mean,
with all the highlight reels of every
we would
every
love to
character
produce
in the
that.
movie. Yeah, exactly. And you know me, I love me some Florence, and I have met her in the past, and she's one of the sweetest girls I've ever met. And for her just to be a big part of this film now, it's great. And yeah, like you were mentioning, that the headshots in these crack me up.
Oh
Like
my God. Some of these are hilarious. Like Evan Moss Backrack, like what is with the eyebrow and the Tenocuerta? Like
I love the Kelsey Grammer one too. It's like so different than
oh yeah, the tone is completely different from his. Like it's like a Step Brothers photo. Like he's the only one who's not in on the joke.
it seems like I feel like that was his headshot when he used to do like those B-rolls for corporate videos.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna get some of the younger Avengers characters in this. We talked a couple weeks ago about potentially seeing Miss Marvel in this. So could we see Kate Bishop's character in here? We already saw that she was recruited into a champion/young Avengers team. Yeah. So those kind of characters could still be in play here. We also didn't get any official announcements for Deadpool and Wolverine. So when Alan Cummings says Avengers, I don't know that, like, I think he probably just kind of thinks that everybody's an event. That's possible too, just not really knowing what character belongs to what team. And we're an Avengers movie and they're a hero, so they must be Avengers. It could be characters like that.
I mean, that's a lot to unpack too. That's a lot of backstories. That's a lot of different characters. So
yeah,
automatically the producers should know that we should know already coming in this movie that we all know each individual characters in here. And I remember when before the original Avengers came out, and I was talking to some of the actors in the red carpet, like Chris Evans and Tom Hiddleston, and I was asking them about like how do they divide each character in the movie. And even at that time, I was having a hard time, like how are they going to split this up between everybody, right? How is Joss Whedon going to split this up, like have equal airtime, because there was so many characters and we've never had such a thing with different characters coming in as Avengers, and all the movies prior to that was solo movies.
Mm-hmm.
So asking each individual actor, so how did Joss Whedon split this up amongst every hero? And every actor who answered that question to me told me with great difficulty. So at that time, if you're telling me there's great difficulty with the original Avengers, how are they going to do this with this? Right?
I mean, if you think about Infinity War and Endgame, right? The Guardians were involved with that. So, I mean, it doesn't sound like we're getting the Guardians in this. If anything, we may sneak in Chris Pratt's Star-Lord. But I think for this, it's just, that you get some screen time there, and maybe like the X-Men kind of fill the Guardians void, and you have a slightly bigger Avengers team. But, some of those original characters didn't make it. And you're not it sounds like you're not getting Tom Holland's Spider-Man in this, and potentially Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but maybe those are the guys Alan Cummings is talking about.
Yeah. Like we're seeing so many heroes. At this point, I kind of want to see what Doom
Yeah.
You know, who's Doom's ally is going to be.
Right.
He's going to have some kind of allies, right? With all these heroes. It's got to be believable.
You would think.
So,
and or maybe he just, he's just playing the manipulation game, and he's sort of turning everyone on each other. So that could be that.
I see where you're getting at. I could see that. That's,
yeah.
You know what I call that? Conflict.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to Avengers Doomsday releasing in December, and before that we've got Comic-Con, so hopefully some big news. Marvel is confirmed to have a Hall H presentation in July, and then in August we get D23, and Marvel is supposed to have another presentation for that. So we could get a lot of Avengers Doomsday news coming up real soon.
Nice.
But today we've got a lot of DC news to talk about, right?
Oh yeah, my guy. Lots of DC news to unpack today, bro. And since we were talking about Marvel, let's talk about a little bit about Mr. Charles switching to the other side. Fresh from his role as the secretive Mr. Charles, Deadline reports Matthew Lillard is set to play Jay Garrick in Superman of Tomorrow. Now, I read some negative comments, and here's my take. People are saying he's too old to be Flash. Cast someone younger. Well, chill the F out, nerds. Jay Garrick is older. Let me give you a brief history lesson. In Arrowverse, Jay Garrick was in the series hailing from Earth 3, played by the John Wesley Shipp. Ryan, as you know, John Wesley Shipp was the OG Flash from the 1990s show.
Yeah, I
if
love
anything,
show.
As long as he doesn't act like a stoner dude from Scooby-Doo or Scream, I'm all good with it. What do you think about this casting, Ryan? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, if it's obviously casting an older character, with his age, seems appropriate, and to get him to be another version, we are going to be cracked over the head apparently with multiversal variations and variants of characters, and this is just another sort of way to work that in. But what a great actor. He's super talented, and he's fun. He brings like a unique energy to every scene he's in because of who he is. And yeah, while I don't want to see like a stoner version of Matt Lillard, I did, watching the Mr. Charles character, just kind of feel like, hey, that's the dude from Scream, and he's now like a CIA agent, which is weird. It did kind of feel oddly an odd casting choice for that role. But I think if he can, have fun with his personality and play the Flash, and maybe we even get to see him, using some of those Speed Force and super speed, that could be super fun.
Bring out the cheese grater with the lightning bolt.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, we've seen Flash and the prior Justice League be the comedic relief in this one. Mm-hmm. Especially with Flashpoint, it's a little bit more, he gets a little unserious, and you really see the wacky side of Flash in this one too.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna have these two characters different now, especially with James Gunn's version of Flash?
That's a great question. And when James Gunn is, and I don't think James Gunn is right. Oh, well, no, James Gunn is writing a script for this. You can sort of expect a certain level of humor and a certain style of humor. So yeah, I think this is kind of a match made in heaven for the way he writes and a type of cast member he wants, and the tone that his movies are going to bring. I did hear some fun fan casts when there was still in speculating that he could be another character, but just based on his look right here in this photograph, people were like, wait, is this Jim Gordon? And we were really going to find out, what kind of serious chops as an actor Matthew Lillard had. But Jay Garrick, it sounds super fun. As like a mentor, maybe character to Barry Allen, and a little bit of comic relief within this. Maybe he's like a founding member of the Justice Gang, and we'll see how that goes with Superman and his crew. But I'm excited. I think they play off as far as Gunn and his writing and Matthew Lillard's acting. I think they could be a pretty good match made in heaven for this.
Oh my God, I would love to see this Jay Garrick and his version of Green Lantern bicker with each other.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be super fun. But also, like we were saying, with the personalities too, you got to really make it a lot different than what they have it over there. So
yeah, for sure.
But sticking with DC, man, we're gonna stick with DC, but we're gonna go on a darker level here, because our boy Matt Reeves over the weekend posted a couple of photos of behind the scenes of the Batmobile driving in the snow. Speculations went rampant on social media on what this means for the 2027 release. What are your thoughts, Ryan? Are we seeing Dr. Victor Freeze? What you think?
I mean, do we? I mean, to speculate because there's snow in the air and ice and stuff going on. Yeah, that maybe if this is the dead of summer and we're seeing this, we don't know exactly what time of year is. So
it's just that random like snow during the spring.
Yeah, but maybe it's not. Yeah, maybe it's because Mr. Freeze is. Maybe he just crashed through an ice wall or something, or maybe he's getting closer and closer to his hideout, to his Villainz Lair, and that's you're just starting to see the effects that he has on the environment around him. That would be awesome. I think it could still do a very grounded take with Mr. Freeze, and like stay in the lane that the Batman is, where it's very grounded. But I mean, you go back to Batman and Robin and Arnold's kind of over the top campy version. I think there's still a place for some really heavy sci-fi elements with him and his power set.
Dang, who would you have play Mr. Freeze?
Ooh,
if this is gonna go on, because I mean, think about the terrible casting for Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, everybody chill.
Yeah, it's not like Adam West Batman. That Mr. Freeze was like,
yeah, he belonged
perfect.
In, the '60s Batman series. But for casting, who I think would be perfect is Hugh Laurie, who he had his own show House, where he's the kind of snarky doctor.
Okay.
I think he could be a really fun, like add some like nice levels of like inner turmoil and pain, and if you watched House, he was kind of a tortured soul in that show, and I think Hugh Laurie could do a good job. I'm sure there's some people see the typically bald head or whatever and think, oh, Stanley Tucci's great. Like, he's already got the shaved head and the pointy nose. He looks just like the Batman animated series. So maybe Stanley Tucci, who knows? He's a great actor as well. And he did a German accent really well. So he does good voices.
Yeah, I'm into it. Also, with this winter stuff, let's not forget that Batman Returns took place in the winter, and there was a lot of Christmas moments.
Yeah, sneaky Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is. That's a very underrated Christmas movie that never gets talked about in all Christmas movies. But you did not have Mr. Freeze in there, or you did not even have a tease of Mr. Freeze in there, but you had penguins, and with Penguin and Catwoman. And there was no Mr. Freeze, so this could just be like another fake out. And also, people have been scrutinizing the the interiors of the Batmobile. And there's also a lot of rumors about possibly Robin being in there because there's like an extra seat, and then we're ready for a Robin and the Batman, like a darker side of Robin. Would you want to see Robin in this one?
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do it, now's the time to start working him in. And I don't think you could go the Damian Wayne route because there's just not enough. You haven't earned that one yet with Talia and so I don't even know you do Jason Todd at this point. I think you can just go, Dick Grayson and
gotta go OG.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time you're seeing him, so you might as well just do the first Robin that they ever had and go from there. I mean, we know that this series isn't going to play out long enough to see Nightwing, this hopefully this series, if James Gunn has his way and he wants to introduce, his Brave and the Bold and his version of Batman, he's like, well, let's get the Batman 2 out and then thank you, let's move on, because these Elseworld stories are really, effing with my plans kind of thing.
Yeah. And I would love to see someone like Steven Yeun play Dick Grayson in this one.
Yeah, that'd be super fun. But I think you almost want to go like
younger.
Yeah, I think you probably want to go late teen.
Yeah, because Robert Pattinson and Steven Yeun kind of like similar in age too.
Yeah. Oh, to Robert Pattinson? Yeah, actually. I think he just looks younger because of good genes. But I think, someone in that like 17, 18-year-old range, I think probably is the it's just tough because like, this Batman's so grounded and so trying to be hyper realistic, why would this guy take a kid out there with them? He's so different and hardened and still somewhat young himself. So
it's not like Val Kilmer.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that. But we're gonna switch to the villain side now, and we're gonna talk about Bane and Deathstroke, which is currently in pre-production, and they're eyeing a director, Greg Mottola, from Superbad, and directed a couple of episodes of Peacemaker. Now, a lot of people have not been talking about Bane and Deathstroke too much, this villain team up, but we're going to. And there's definitely a lot of speculations right now, especially with pre-production. People love to put their, just to talk about it before the pre-production side and predict who's going to play them and what kind of tone it's going to be. For this one, what are you thinking? Because they're so dark in their own right. They're two different characters. And we've had like different versions of them. Like obviously with Bane, you had a terrible version of Batman and Robin. And in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, I can't do the voice, but Ryan can with Bane. I was trying to point you out to do the voice because I can't do it.
You think darkness is our ally?
yeah, that version. So, I mean, what do you want to see in this one? And with Deathstroke, you've seen him fight against Arrow, and you've also seen him in Titans, who both did excellent jobs on his own right. And I love both of them, especially in Titans. He was so good. And he was like nearly unstoppable in his backstory. If you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out because that Deathstroke season was amazing. Now to bring those two dark characters together, how would you do this one as like, and I don't want to see a comedic relief either with both of them.
Yeah, I mean, you think like, Greg Mottola and you think Superbad and you're immediately like, oh, yeah, okay, so it's like a buddy comedy, kind of thing. But these characters are way too these are DC's top two mercenaries. They're not their only mercenaries. You got guys like Deadshot and stuff like that. But these guys, they're serious. These are serious players, and this is serious business. So I think that Mottola has experience doing a couple episodes of Peacemaker in season 2. So again, that's another show that is sort of, heavy on the humor side, So they're definitely, showing their hand a little bit here, and there's gonna be comedic elements. I don't think there's another way around that. And if Dave Bautista gets his way and gets to play Bane, Drax was always kind of like one of the main comedic elements of the Guardians movies. So I think, despite who these characters are, there's gonna be some element of buddy comedy in this. These are my 2 favorite DC villains, and so I'm super stoked for just the thought of this. I just really want it to not turn into a slapstick humor type of film.
Not at all. As you were saying, like buddy comedy. I mean, who would imagine a Deathstroke Bane buddy comedy would be in pre-production even?
Right.
My take on this is Warner Brothers executives. Are they in panic mode? Are we just creating 2 favorites from the villain community and mashing them together in a movie? And also, if you put these 2 together, what does this mean for their antagonist? Like, are we gonna have Nightwing and Batman on the other side, or is it gonna be like a Suicide kind of thing where they go on a mission against just random protagonists? What are we gonna do here? Who are they gonna go against? And also, if you do such a good enough job, what does this mean for the whole universe? All of a sudden, you have Bane, and also you have Deathstroke as your good guys. They're gonna be our protagonists, or we're gonna follow their quest to whatever they're doing. I can't see kids all of a sudden dressing up as them and being the new Batman and Superman.
No, definitely not.
With these corporations, you would like to have longtime fans like us, and have them forever watch them throughout their as they age to be teens and be fans of them, and for them to be like, all right, let's bring in Bane and Deathstroke and let's just have them be like the new heroes of today. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I almost feel like, let's finish out the stories that we're building first, and then maybe let's try exploring backstories of these villains and just have them feature. Listen, Joker 2 was not great.
No.
Original Joker was awesome, but then they tried to push on the ground and let's make something, different. That just didn't work. So let's just take a chill pill here and let's get back to what's working right now on the DC universe.
My guess is James Gunn and Peter Safran, kind of saw the dynamic of Deadpool and Wolverine and how that was successful. And they took like a surly character and then a comic relief character and made this sort of buddy comedy adventure flick. And maybe they're thinking, well, what if we get Bautista and he plays Bane and he can be the comic relief, and Deathstroke is the Wolverine, and it takes everything serious, and sort of flips on Slade Wilson's not the funny guy, but Wade Wilson is. That's
None of them are
maybe
funny.
what I think they're going for here.
Yeah, both of them are not funny at all. They've never been funny.
Yeah.
You got one breaking Batman's back, and then the other one just killing parents left and right. So I don't know.
Yeah, I really wish we got Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke from Justice League. I wish that Affleck would have made that movie where he was the villain and Batman had to take on Deathstroke. God, that would have been so cool. Especially like every time I see that final fight from the Batman Arkham series where Deathstroke. Oh my God, that's probably
they were very close to making that. Very close. We almost got it. And what a
Almost.
shame. In a different universe, they got it. But
Yeah, just outside the multiverse.
yeah, we're not in that one. We're gonna stick to the DC studios here, and for the fun part of the show, Rydog, which DC Studios team up movie would you like to see made?
All right, I'm gonna take your favorite character, Nightwing, and then I am gonna add Red Hood, and I want like a Gotham City Knights. Give me Nightwing and Red Hood, and I'd love to just see two guys kind of with daddy issues and some real dark background. Red Hood's trauma and how Nightwing always wants to do the right thing, and Red Hood sort of does, but doesn't really care how he goes about doing it. So Nightwing wants to do the right thing and do it the right way, while Red Hood wants to do the right-ish thing and doesn't really care about what way he does it. And so just seeing them, and then I think you could have some really fun villains in there. Shoot, even if it is a Deathstroke movie, those two going up against Deathstroke. Now think about that fight sequence.
Oh, funny you bring that up. It kind of reminds me of Titans on HBO Max. They kind of went through that relationship a little bit with Nightwing and Red Hood, and they kind of showed it a little bit, like a lot of that between those two. And Nightwing, Red Hood, you don't have to be this person or whatever. And it's pretty much that close to it. And if you can make that as a whole, that would be amazing. And it's
what if you did, check this out, what if you did Nightwing and Red Hood and you did it raid style, where they had to raid one, or where they had to kind of basically get through the building and get to the top of this hideout or complex similar to like the raid, and they have to go through all these like fights along the way to get to the top, and gunfights and fist fights, and to get all the way to the top, and they're hoping to get to the Joker, but it ends up not being the Joker, and it's like I haven't fleshed this plot out all the way, but it's one of the Jokers. It's sort of like a twist, and it could be someone else at the end.
Yeah, it sounds like you could put a little bit of a Death in a Family in there, and I can also see that playing in a game of one of the Arkham series. And just put that in there. Hell yeah, I'm into that. And I love me some Nightwing. So
what team up movie are you going with?
Listen, I have a daughter, you have a daughter, and I feel like I don't want to get me too'd here in the geek universe, but I feel like in the last few years that female protagonist standalone movies have been a little bit forced in some of the films. And with this one, it wouldn't be forced at all. You have Supergirl coming out this summer. Probably just about like a month, right? Supergirl's coming out in a month. You take that Supergirl and you take Gal's Wonder Woman and combine them together, with two different personalities. James Gunn has this personality of Supergirl, and Gal's got a whole different personality of Wonder Woman. You bring them together. They're in space all the time in different planets, and you make it like a buddy cop kind of movie. This is not going to be forced at all. You're not going to be thinking, female buddy cops. That's different, but it's not going to be like male buddy cop. No, because they're both strong as hell, and they're both pretty smart too, and they both have different personalities. And you have those two team ups, and you explore different planets around, find different bad guys, or maybe they have one big bad somewhere in there, and they're just trying to figure out who's the person trying to destroy all these planets. And then between Supergirl, like as we saw in the last Superman, she was pretty drunk. And then you got the normal Wonder Woman who doesn't drink at all. She's just like straight as an arrow. So you have those two, and then with Supergirl, she's partying all over the place. With Wonder Woman, she's not, trying to hook up with any guys at all or talking to anyone. So you have just two different contrasts in there. It's not going to be forced. You bring the old Wonder Woman back, and people are going to be happy that she's back, and you bring this current Supergirl in, and you just combine it together and just let it be natural. Let nature take its course to the awesome movie experience that we can experience. And
as
not
long
only
as
that, girls will grow up loving them. So now you have a longtime fan, and now you have a new franchise going on between the two.
Yeah, you're really making a big push for Spirit Halloween's new 2027 Halloween line. Yeah, as long as we don't get the same director from the last Wonder Woman film, not director, but writer, man.
Right.
That was
1984. No, we stay away from 1980. We don't count that one. We're counting the one from Batman versus Superman, Wonder Woman. You bring in the music. Remember that music when she comes on? And yeah. And then the first Wonder Woman, which everyone loved, you bring those two together. Forget about 1984. 1984 was nothing but a hot tub time machine era. And then you forget that, and you just bring the Wonder Woman and Batman versus Superman Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's on.
All right. So
then now my daughter can happily dress up as Wonder Woman or Supergirl, and she'll be happy about it.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're wrapping things up today on this show. But before we go, Alvin, we've had a lot to say. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything over the weekend that we missed that you want to kind of chime in on?
No, I think tomorrow we'll talk about other things that came out on the weekend, including DC animations that's slated to come out in the future. And also one of your favorite movies we have to talk about, Fantastic Four, right? You just watched that last
Fantastic
night
Four.
bedtime?
Yep. I love Fantastic Four late at night. How could you not? It's such a feel-good, heartwarming tale about a guy trying to kill a baby, and it's just all the things that you want to go to sleep with at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But if you like what you're seeing here on the channel, and you like the conversations that we're having, and you're entertained, man, smash that like button, because it helps the channel so much. We would really appreciate any likes. We'd appreciate any discussion, any commentary. Like, head down to the comments. Tell us, your thoughts. What DC character team up movie would you want to see? If you tell us if you agree with what we're saying, tell us if you disagree. We'd love to have these conversations down in the comments. And most of all, if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, subscribe to the show. Tons of comment coming out. If you've been with us and checked out the channel, you've seen we've done reviews on the Darth Maul series. We've done a Mortal Kombat 2 movie film review, and movie film. I'm like Borat. Watch my movie film. So just a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff on the channel, a lot of fun stuff to come. Trust me, there are live streams coming. There is an Avengers Doomsday trailer that is definitely coming in the next 10 days or so. So we will be all over that. So again, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of these shows. We do this Villainz Lair podcast Monday through Friday. We're doing 5 days a week as best we can. And so far in entering week 3, we haven't missed a day yet. Proud to say.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for today. We're just so happy. If you've been with us for almost 40 minutes, or actually at 40 minutes right now, then we are super thankful for you. We are super thankful for anyone who comes by, gives us some love. We'll give it right back. And we will see you in the next one.